What's up guys, and welcome to FPL today. My name is JNO, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Player Analysis, which was a very popular show this time last year on the channel. We brought it back with some big signings coming in. Bernardo Silva is the one we're focusing on today. But before we get into the episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel, hit that like button to support the show, and let's get on to the signing of Bernardo Silva to Manchester City. So Bernardo Silva has gone to Manchester City for a transfer fee over £40 million. So we are looking at a player that must be considered right now at least. A player that is going to feature a lot for Manchester City. Of course, they do have Champions League football, which means there will be rotation risks at points in the season. But when you're spending that much money on a player, you're probably thinking they're going to be a focal point of your side. He's just won Ligue 1 with AS Monaco before making the move as well, in a Monaco side that were 8 points above Paris Saint-Germain. So this could be a very tasty addition to our Fantasy Premier League season. As far as a player goes, he has some strengths which are really interesting for us as Fantasy Premier League managers, one of which is key passes. He has got a good return of key passes per game, also has very decent finishing, meaning for a midfielder he could be getting assists and goals, which of course is gold and money in Fantasy Premier League. As far as weaknesses go, his weaknesses is in aerial duels, but let's be honest, we don't need him to be getting in the box and getting on the end of those crosses, because he's more likely going to be the one putting the ball into the box. And Manchester City aren't really the type of side where that is a focal point of their game anyway, so we shouldn't worry too much about his weaknesses. His style of play, he gets fouled often. Could that mean he gets fouled a lot in the box, which of course would get him assists as well as the assists he actually gets in open play? Plays the ball off the ground often, so he could be seeing some through balls to the speedy players like Aguero and Jesus over the top. However, most teams like to sit back against Manchester City, so that may not be happening as often for him in this up and coming season. And then he likes to tackle as well. Now, I don't know how good he actually is at tackling. Could mean some yellow cards in there, which of course will deduct from his points total in the FPL season. If you watched the FPL Summer Transfer Show yesterday, and if you haven't, feel free to go out and check it out. We already went over his stats for 2016-17, but we'll bring him back up again. He had 33 starts and managed to get 8 goals and 9 assists. Shots per game and key passes was at 1.6 per game, so he will be getting chances and assists on the board. His Man of the Match awards, he managed to pick up 3 in the entire season, but he was part of a side that had a lot of players pick up Man of the Match awards, so that might be why the Man of the Match total is so low. His average rating was at 7.29, which is very respectable. Last season though, that team were on top form. How much of that was Bernardo Silva and how much of that was just great tactics and a great team coming together at the same time is up to debate. If we look at how we did the season before, the numbers aren't quite as good and Monaco's performances weren't quite as good. But Monaco are one of the biggest sides in the French league, so you'd have expected these stats to maybe have been a little bit better. But in 22 starts, which means he may have picked up an injury or wasn't considered a first team player, he managed to get 7 goals and 1 assist. His shots per game and key passes weren't quite as good, both at 1.3, so they weren't too bad though. At least 1 shot per game and key pass per game. He actually got more Man of the Match awards that season though, with a Man of the Match total of 4, and his average rating was at 7.00. However, there is hope that he is quite a consistent player, at least if his price point comes in at a decent price in Fantasy Premier League. In the 2014-2015 season, from 25 starts, he managed to get 9 goals and 3 assists. So the goal total seems to always be there. 7 goals the season before and 8 goals last season. He managed to get 9 in 2014-15 season. Only 3 assists, but that is more than the season after. Key passes was at 1.4, which was slightly higher. Shots per game was slightly down, but again, they're both over the total of 1 per game. And then Man of the Match awards, he won 3 that season and got an average rating of 7.23. So his stats are pretty consistent. His assists did drop significantly in that 2015-2016 season though. But now we have to look at how he would fit into that Manchester City side. They already have the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, already have the likes of Leroy Sané, David Silva, Raheem Sterling. Because of the amount they paid for him, I'm imagining he's going to replace someone. We have to try and figure out who he is going to replace in that lineup, but I can't imagine them playing all of those midfielders and Aguero and Gabriel Jesus. So someone is going to lose out. However, if Kevin De Bruyne is still in the side, is Bernardo Silva going to be a better option than Kevin De Bruyne? Is he going to be a better option than the likes of David Silva? And how many Manchester City players are you going to put into your side? Do you think next season will be their season? If you do, maybe Bernardo Silva is worthy of being the second Man City player in your side. But that is something you've got to figure out for yourselves. And I will try and give more information on that after I see some pre-season games. Anyway guys, what I want you guys to do is leave in the comments down below how important you think Bernardo Silva may be in Fantasy Premier League next season. Also, as always, hit that subscribe button and like the video if you've enjoyed this episode of FPL Player Analysis. Hopefully we will have a great summer transfer window of player analysis and the summer transfer window FPL video. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.